Welcome to the Chef's Kitchen. I'm your host, Tina Marie, and today we are joined by our excellent chef, Chef Chris Scarduzio of Table 31, Mia and Scarduzio's at the Showboat Casino in Atlantic City.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome back, sir.
My pleasure.
So pleased to have you here.
It's always a pleasure to be here.
We also love featuring wines on our show. It's
Yes.
a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun to cook with and to drink with. Today we'll be featuring a selection of Rhone Valley wines. So we'll be having some tastings and some cooking. You have two delicious recipes planned for us today.
Yeah, we're going to do a bouillabaisse, you know, very easy to do at home, not so much the restaurant style, and then we're going to do a gnocchi, hunter style to go with the red. This is excellent wine. We had a chance to taste them earlier, so they're going to go great with the food. And a lot of spice in the wine and the spice that's in the food will help complement each other very well.
Perfect.
So we're going to start off here with the bouillabaisse. Obviously, we have lobster, we have cod, mussels, clams,
Great
and a
selection
lot
of
of different
seafood.
vegetables. But you know, some things that we can also like to teach is, you know, when you check for mussels, the way to tell if they're alive, you squeeze it. If they pop back open again, they're dead. But like this one's a little open. Hold it for 10 seconds.
Right.
And it won't open up again. It's still
that's
alive.
an excellent tip, Chef. So if it pops back open, discard it.
Discard it.
Okay.
So we're going to start off with some olive oil, and we're going to start with the things that take the most long to cook first.
Okay.
So we're going to sweat a little garlic first in the oil.
This is showcasing your, traditional French techniques, French style cooking.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Well, you know, French is bouillabaisse. So.
Yeah.
And lightly sweat the garlic here.
Okay.
Now, I want you, this pan's already starting to get hot a little bit, so we're going to kind of do a bunch of different things at one time. So I want you to, as well, take this, and I'm going to take a piece of cod.
So is the cod going to take, obviously, longer to cook?
Well, the clams are going to take, obviously, the longest. So we just want to get a little sweat. We don't want no color, just a lightly blonde.
There it is. That is blonde.
Okay. Clams have been purged. Okay, and right away, just a tad bit of salt.
Okay.
Because clams tend to be a little salty. Pepper. And we have here a little bit of chili spice.
What is this called again, Chef?
It's a little chili spice.
Chili spice, okay.
Just chili peppers in there. Cover the clams. And what I like to do is just for a little bit of acid along with the zest, squeeze that in there.
Great.
Okay? And I'm going to cover it.
So it's just enough wine to cover.
As the clams start to purge and open up, well, they're already purged. As soon as they start to open up, we'll go ahead, we'll add our mussels. That'll be the shellfish. And then here, what we're going to do is we're going to cook each individual piece as the time it takes. So obviously the first one we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of cod. If you don't have cod, and you want to work with another piece of white fish.
What would you recommend?
Bronzino, flounder,
any sort of a
halibut.
white,
yeah, a nice white flaky
fish.
fish. We're going to start there with the cod. Here we have some scallops. Why don't you go ahead and season them up a little bit as well.
Certainly.
Put some fingerling potatoes.
Fingerling potatoes. Is this a classic bouillabaisse?
Well, it's about as classic as I can get here in America versus what they do in Paris or they do down the south.
Okay.
You know, it's just like when you make meatballs and spaghetti at home. It's just a classic meatball. Like everybody always adds their little addition to it.
Touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to go ahead here.
Beautiful, nice color.
Nice sear there.
So we're not going to cook this through all the way, correct, Chris?
No, we're going to cook it through. It's going to be medium rare.
Okay.
We don't want to cook it all, so we're going to add our scallops.
Because we're going to eventually add it?
Yes.
Right? Okay.
And then what I like to do with the lobster, now again, if you don't have fresh Maine lobster and you want to use some lobster meat, that's fine. We'll start with the shell side up.
Okay. Shell side up. Are these cooked lobsters, Chef?
They're cooked lobster tails, yes.
So these are artichoke hearts?
Yes. And I'm going to sauce. This will be our veg. And the potatoes are already blanched.
Okay.
Okay, so we're almost done here with the scallops. What you don't want to do is, bon cuit, like you say, a little overcooked and tough. So everything comes together. We'll put our mussels in as well. Give this a little stir, and these should all open up nicely together.
So the mussels take less time than the clams?
The mussels will take less time than the clams. I like to add a little lobster stock here.
Okay, and you can tell the lobster stock is so nice and rich.
I'm going to emulsify it with a little touch of butter there.
Chef, did you make the lobster stock? Is that yours?
Yes, absolutely.
And you use the shells and everything to make that, is that correct?
So I'm going to show you a little trick how to reduce the sauce real quick as well. So while that's going, get another saute pan. Again, this is a restaurant technique if people like to be curious how it happens. get this thing real hot, and I'll show you how to reduce it.
We are
really
curious.
Well.
That's the name of our game, is curiosity.
We're gonna add some tomatoes here. I want you to give that a stir.
Okay.
A little bit of fresh thyme. And
Cherry
some
tomatoes,
parsley.
fresh herb.
Okay. And some basil at the very end. Give that a stir.
Good.
Okay. Now again, when you stir the shellfish a lot, you wonder how you lose the meat that's in the shellfish. Like you're looking, the clam, they'll have nothing in it.
Yes.
That's because somebody's stirring and agitating it,
Too much.
and agitating. And then the meat releases from the muscle. So you see we're kind of cooking quick. So from the bottom, up 1 or 2 stirs and then let it go.
Okay.
Cooked something from the show? Went to a restaurant that you loved? Found a place serving innovative cocktails or impressive wine? Become a fan of the Chef's Kitchen on Facebook and share your thoughts. We now return to the Chef's Kitchen.
I'm amazed at how quickly this dish comes together, really.
Yeah, well,
But
it's all about mise en place. You know,
as you showed, though, it's all in the timing. I mean, because you had 2, flames going on, actually 3, and you were cooking a lot of things at the same time. So it's all a matter of prior preparation.
Put the potatoes that have been blanched nicely. Some carrots, and again, really in no particular order because as you're going to see, everything's going to get covered. This is like I like to put it like a nice little surprise for the guests at the bottom.
Yeah, they're not
and
expecting.
This helps make the dish hearty as well. You know, just not instead of eating just all the seafood and complete proteins, our shellfish
Beautiful.
is all opened up together at the same time.
See all those mussels opened up, the clams, again, all in exquisite timing on your part, chef.
And the fish isn't overcooking, it's nice. So what I like to do is to get this to reduce down quickly. Okay, you see that the pan's hot?
Yes.
Now what we did is we created some surface area.
Okay.
So now you got a wider surface area versus a smaller surface area, more heat, and now this sauce right here is going to come together real nice, you know, a little nappe.
So it's going to reduce?
Reduce down to a little nappe.
And the fact that you put it into a wider surface area helps it to reduce faster, Chef?
That's correct,
okay.
and already hot. Now if it was cold, it wouldn't have reduced so quick. Take some mussels here. As many as you like. Now, if you want a big bowl, this is great family style as well.
Yes.
But for what we're doing and the application of what we're doing here, keep this simple for everybody.
So you place that in whole?
On top.
Beautiful. Look at that. Generous.
We'll take some
dish.
scallops. Oh, yes.
Look at this. It encourages everyone to just come together, and that broth is perfect for dipping some beautiful bread into.
This is pull the lobster out a little bit right there. Now you see the steam coming out. It's nice, it's moist. And then what I have here is I have a little bit of mashed potato, plum puree that we made, and we put a little bit of saffron in there.
Oh, and so that gives it
traditionally what they'll do is they'll do like a mayonnaise, you go to certain parts, they'll do like a roux of saffron and mayonnaise.
Yes.
But for this application, I like to do a little bit of potato and a little pinch of saffron.
So it's giving it that that golden hue, that reddish
and
golden
a little
hue.
saffron in here as well to give it a little more kick and the spice.
So is this typical for bouillabaisse? This is
Absolutely. Everything
it
here, tomato, basil, saffron, a little bit of spice, and we have a nice baguette right here.
That's why it's such a celebratory type of dish. It has so many fantastic ingredients in it.
Oh yeah, this is great. And then we're going to take our spoon with the saffron roux and plum puree.
Wow. Beautiful flavored sauce.
Chive. And you are good to go.
Wow. So we get to taste this now with Daphne Payon from Rhone Valley Wines and Kevin Keys. Essentially your right-hand man, you said, at Table 31 and me at all your restaurants.
Yes.
Wonderful.
He's a sommelier. He helps with everything, and he helped with the wine selections and food pairings.
Spectacular. What an exuberant dish for such a lively part of France.
Beautiful.
Tell us a little
bit. It's like the Rhone Valley right now.
What is the terroir like in the Rhone Valley?
It's very diverse. Some flat plains, some hills.
Kevin?
And you have 2 different regions in the Rhone Valley. The northern Rhone, which is much more steep slopes, and then the southern Rhone, which is more hilly and very soft and warm climate, so very fitted to a bouillabaisse dish.
It's perfect. Reminds you of home a little bit?
Yes.
Yes, it does. She's very excited. I'm going to try one of the clams.
These Prince Edward Island are delicious.
These are Prince Edward Island mussels?
I find the best.
Nice to get a spoon too with the broth and the wine. It all goes very well together.
Now let's try the wine. Really wonderful flavoring. So really a perfect light wine.
And the chef cooked with a Ventoux wine, with this wine. So it's wine from the Ventoux area, which is very south of the Rhône region. It's a blend of white Grenache, Clairette, Bourboulenc, and Roussanne. So very typical and indigenous grape from the Rhône Valley.
You have that honey, the white flowers, a lot of florals that you have in the saffron here. But you got a little bit of spice, so a little the bright minerality, I think, goes great with the shellfish and just that light white wine broth.
I love this wine.
It's just
with
outstanding.
seafood. It's a natural pairing, natural marriage.
Yeah, and it's very comforting as well. It's nothing. It's not a pretentious dish. I don't view the wine as a very pretentious wine. For me, the wine is very refreshing and very comfortable.
So with the other white, we are going north.
North?
So north of the Rhône Valley, up to Creuse-Hermitage.
Okay.
And this one is one grape blend, only Marsanne, which is also very typical from the Rhône Valley. It's going to be a little bit more full-bodied, but still very easy to go with food, because those wines are not overwhelming. It's all about going with the food and making it even better than it is.
Cheers, everyone.
Santé.
Salute. So we have another one from the Rhône Valley, a red Grenache that we're going to do as well.
Yes.
And we did a tasting, Kevin and I, we paired it up. So we kind of figured a good hunter style, again, a little bit of spice, woody gnocchi with mushrooms. And we're going to show you how to do that as well.
Excellent. A nice change from this dish.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay. And actually, Kevin, you have one more wine to be showing us today.
The second one had a little more smoke and wood than it did minerality or the bright florals.
And a red, and it seems that the Côte d'Or region is known for the red wines.
Yes, it's mainly red, like over 60% of the production, but we have very nice rosé, dry rosé, and white.
Excellent.
And so this red is Costière de Nîmes. So we are going back to the south of the Rhône region, and it's a blend of Grenache, Syrah, and Carignan.
Beautiful blend. Robust, earthy, lovely, really lovely.
So I'm going to start over here with this gnocchi dish, and again, we're going to use some fresh gnocchi. But again, if you want to use a box pasta, that's fine.
Stay tuned. We'll be back with more from the chef's kitchen.